A lot of issues in your life are caused from having too much past or too much future and not focusing on all there ever is right now, which is just this moment, just this present moment. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Today I'm writing a letter to my younger self. Dear Carla, self-love first. This one is important and very near and dear to my heart. Self-love has completely changed my life, and for me in my journey it was really the first step. When I see people prioritizing themselves and really loving themselves and putting themselves first, I really observe them also changing their lives. So I know it's so huge, and I know we cannot truly love other people or other things if we don't put that love onto ourselves first. If we seek love in outside things, it's going to lead to suffering, it's going to lead to attachment, and then if those things are not with us anymore, we're going to feel crappy, whether it be people, material things. That's why true, peaceful, balanced love comes from within. Wholeness can only come from within. And self-love, love in general, is so important because the universe is a mirror. So what you're putting out, the vibration you're putting in and out, is what's going to be returned to you. So I noticed how much my life got more peaceful, simpler, easier when I did start loving myself. When I was loving myself, I was just happier. I was happier with myself. I was happier with others. You know, I was spreading love, I was spreading happiness to others, so I just kept seeing it multiply. I genuinely feel like you can't truly love something else, someone else, unless you fully love and accept yourself first. I've seen my life radically transform after I started prioritizing myself, prioritizing my own self-love and putting myself first, and then becoming the main character of my journey, of my life, of my physical existence just kind of fell in line after that. The self-love journey took me down a path into discovering other things. So the other thing I would tell younger Carla is wake up, get off of autopilot. This is a big one, and it's something that's changed my whole life. Getting out of autopilot means being present, being in this moment, being in the now, observing and being aware of your thoughts, knowing that those thoughts are not you. A lot of issues in your life are caused from having too much past or too much future and not focusing on all there ever is right now, which is just this moment, just this present moment. If you really focus on the moment right here, right now, no matter what you're going through, you're gonna be more at peace. You're gonna be more clear-headed to be able to face whatever you have to go through. Getting out of autopilot means you're not your thoughts. You are not these subconscious programmed thoughts that are constantly playing in your head. You are just this being that observes those thoughts. That knowing has given me lots of freedom, lots of peace, and has greatly decreased my suffering. Our minds are a powerful tool, but unfortunately for most of us, they have completely possessed us, and we completely are run by them, and we don't observe, or we're not even aware of the fact that they just kind of take over us, and they're feeding us a constant narrative, and a lot of times it's not a nice narrative, and they just live there rent-free, and the thoughts are just going, doing their thing. We're not even aware of them. So getting out of autopilot, that was huge for me and something I wish I knew sooner. Really, it has changed my life so much because when I'm feeling crappy or when I start to doubt myself, I'm like, whew, I take a little step back and I'm like, okay, I see these thoughts. I see my ego trying to come in here, go into survival mode, stop me from getting out of my comfort zone. And I know that's not me. I know, and I wish I knew sooner, that my truest self, my authentic self, my higher self would never doubt me. It wants the best things for me, and it wouldn't tell me like, you can't do that. Ooh, that's not good enough. Or, you know, anything, any doubts, any fear projections, any feelings of unworthiness. I know that's my ego coming in, and I know that's not my truest self. That truth of getting out of autopilot, or even realizing I was on autopilot, also lets me have a lot of compassion for myself and compassion for others, because I know that not too long ago I was completely run by my mind, and I know unfortunately most people are still, because they don't have that knowing yet, or it's not their time to have that knowing yet. So when I feel myself or see myself reacting, or when I see others reacting in a way that I'm like, ugh, I know better now, or like, ugh, they should know better, I know that we're all just just projecting our programming, projecting things that our subconscious mind has been used to and is believing. So having compassion for myself and others has been huge. Dear Carla, your weight does not define you. You are so much more beyond this physical appearance. You're this vibrant soul that has so much to offer the world. It's important to take care of our physical body, but the most important thing is coming from a place of love, coming from a place of wanting to be healthy, not wanting to look a certain way to please someone or please society's definition of beauty. Talk nicely to yourself. Your weight does not define you. Your weight is not your identity. Putting yourself down is not going to motivate you. I would say really mean things to myself in hopes that if I'm telling myself things like this, that would motivate me and I would change, but that only will sink you deeper. Talk nicely to yourself. Talk nicely to others. If you're constantly telling yourself negative things, you're just gonna feel more negative. I used to think like, oh, if I say these certain things, then I'm like, it's gonna put fire under my ass to start changing. But no, only when I started talking nicely to myself, loving myself where I was at, did I really change. Food will not fill the void. People will not fill the void. Material things will not fill the void. The only thing that can fill the void is yourself, is finding wholeness within yourself, nothing outside of you. I think there's a lot of addictions that are normalized that we don't label as addictions that we should talk more about. So when people think of an addiction, they think of drugs and alcohol. And an addiction really is a coping mechanism. It's a distraction, right? So the other addictions, such as food, it's the same thing. It's a distraction. It's a comfort mechanism. Because if you're distracted, then you don't have to feel. You don't have to answer. You don't have to dig deep. The thing is, with these substances, drugs, alcohol, food, material things, no matter how much you consume of them, it's not going to fix the problem. That void is still going to be there because it's something internal that you need to work on, that only you can heal. No amount of food is going to fix it. No amount of drugs or alcohol. I think for a long time, my vice, one of my vices, was food. It still is. I still struggle with my relationship with food. It's gotten a lot better, obviously, as I've been on my journey, but it's a band-aid. It's a band-aid. And if you're not dealing with the real issues, which is loving yourself, self-worth, then that void is always going to be there. Another thing I still struggle with, and I wish I did know sooner. I'm getting better, but I wish I also did know sooner, and I want you to know, is other people are not your responsibility, no matter how close you are to them. When I'm saying this, I'm thinking about everyone in my life because nobody tells me to take on that responsibility, but I guess the way I've been brought up or things in my mind or being a people pleaser, I automatically want to take care of everyone. My friends, my family, especially my mom and dad. So then I put this pressure on myself and then I get resentment towards them because I feel like they're my responsibility, or if something is going wrong, I have to jump on it. But my only responsibility is myself. I can't take care of anyone else. Not really anyway. You can help, but taking on the full responsibility is unrealistic and you're going to burn out and you're going to resent yourself and other people. Dear Carla, awareness is everything. Without awareness, you can't figure out what makes you feel good, what makes you feel crappy. Without awareness, you're not capable of taking a look at your patterns that are not serving you, or patterns that may be serving you, so you can continue to work with those patterns that do work for you and be aware of the patterns or programming that are in your life that you no longer want to be there. I no longer want to compare myself to others. I no longer want to seek things and wholeness and love from anyone or anything outside myself. But if I wasn't aware of my patterns, of my triggers, of constant thoughts that are playing in my head, if I didn't become aware of this, how would I even know that I needed to change them? Awareness of patterns in your family and in your relationships, and knowing that we're all just doing our best. We're all just inner child with inner child talking to inner child wounds, fighting with inner child wounds. Everyone's been programmed for centuries. We've been programmed. Our parents have been programmed. We're programmed by society all the time, so everyone is just doing their best. Now that I have awareness of some of these things, when I see people not close to me or close to me living from their egos, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. But I'm like, I still deal with that. And I was in my ego for so long and still am. So it's about knowing everyone's just doing the best with the cards they're dealt with in this moment and having compassion for yourself and for everyone else. And when someone is doing something you don't agree with or you don't like or that may seem negative, they are usually just projecting one of their programmings or one of their traumas into the world, onto you. And you can't control that. You can't control anything outside of you. You can only control how you react or lack to react, instead respond to any given situation. Above all else, above everything, the most important thing is love. Love for yourself, love for each other, love for the world, love for animals. Because we're all just one anyway. We're all connected anyway. If you want to see more love in the world, you have to be more love. You have to be more loving. You have to put more love out to see more love in your life. And it's the most important thing. It's the highest vibration you can be in, is in love. And when you're in that vibration, you see more of it, and it's amazing. And if we all just love more, the world would be such a better place. So those are the things that I wish I knew when I was younger. I know a lot of these things would have made my life probably a lot smoother and easier sooner, but I also know divine timing is real, and things come to us when we're ready for them. And I know to trust the process, trust the journey. I hope you trust your journey too. I wish you well now and always. I hope you have an amazing day, and I love you. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Bye.